want to do is start out in Google, and I typed in timeline, as you can see right here, and this doesn't help me much. This is just information. But if I go to images, there are all kinds of examples of timelines, and there's some pretty elaborate ones like this one here to pretty standard simple one like this. If I click on this, and I can see it down here, or I could click up here and just get the image. So I've got a line, and then it's got all these different dates coming off of it. Here's 1999, here's 2002, 2002, 2004, 4, 5, 6. So it's sequential. Things are moving through time. And this happens to be the timeline for the iPhone. Here's, I guess, when it started to come out. And here's where we are at now. Anyway, find a timeline that interests you, a shape. Here's one that's got an image in the background. It's got the standard line, got the dates. A lot of times, as you can see on this one, the oldest dates are at the top left, going to the most recent dates on the bottom right. That's kind of common. And then timeline running through the center, and then it's got an image in the background behind everything else that has something to do with the dates and what the timeline is about. You could just do an image like this in Fireworks that does not have any rollovers. The one I'm going to make today, I'm going to make in Flash, and it is going to have rollovers. So once you find an image you're interested in, the next step is to draw it on paper. And here's an example of the one I'm going to make today that I drew on paper. You can see down at the bottom are the sequential decades. So it starts 1960, 70, 80, 90, 2000, and 2010 going into the future. Then we've got the line. Then up above, I've got all these different events. I was born here in 62, graduated 1980, Navy in 81. Then we skipped 10 years to 91 when my son was born, graduated in 1999, got married in 2004. And so these points on the timeline are relative to if there were 10 divisions between 2000 and 2010, 2004 would be about right here. Whereas 1999 is much closer to 2000 than the one for 2004. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to make this timeline, and what I need is a new HTML file to put the timeline in when I'm done. So the file I would like you to open is your plan.html. Make sure it's saved. I can tell it's saved right now because it doesn't have an asterisk next to the name. And I'm going to choose File, Save As. And it's going into my folder right where it's supposed to go. And instead of plan.html, I'm going to call it time.html. I'm going to come down here and click Save. And if I look up here and here on the tab, I see it's now called time instead of plan. I'm not going to need this table, so I click above it and just, let's see here. If I come down here and select table here, I can just delete that table. I'm going to click on my plan and delete that. What I did was in Fireworks, I double clicked on plan and I changed the graphic to say my timeline, and I saved it, did file save as, and made it a PNG called time. And if I drag that right there and just click OK, my timeline shows up. And the next thing I'm going to do now is go into File and choose Save. And now we've got this new HTML file, and it's ready. We're going to Next, move over to Flash and create the timeline. Once the timeline is created, we're going to come back here and put the timeline in this file, and we'll be able to see it online. So let's move on over to Flash. I already have a file opened up. Haven't made anything yet. Need to change the size. So it was 680 for the width, and I already had the correct height of 400. Okay. And there I can see that's going to fit right into here because it's the same exact size, 680 by 400. So now it's time to create what I drew on paper. Okay, let's see here. The background color in my Dreamweaver file is black, so I'm going to make the background here black. I'm going to call this layer BG for background. And let's see, I am going to make a yellow line. And I'm going to put it straight across. And let's see here, I want to make it a little bit thicker. Got the black pointer, selected it. Going to come down to the property panel. Let's bring it up to about 4 so it's thicker. Let's put it right in the center of the file. So I've got 2 stages selected. I'm going to center it vertically and I'm going to center it horizontally. So now it's right in the center of my file. Now I want to make a triangle for each end. So I'm going to get the line tool again. And when you make lines, if you hold shift, you can get a perfect 45-degree angle like that. I can let go, I can come up this way and make a 45-degree angle. If I hold shift while I come up, it's going to come straight up. Now I've got a little excess there on the ends. I'm going to get the pointer tool, get rid of that. Then I'm going to get the paint bucket, and I want yellow in the paint bucket, and I'm going to fill this in.